How do you steal a seat for statewide office? With bags of taxpayer dollars and a straw man for a candidate. I'm Janelle Batts, and this is a special episode of Point Blank. The next 180 seconds is going to cover information that parents and taxpayers alike need to know about how Oklahoma tax dollars are actively being used to influence our elections. Last week, Epic Charter School founders Ben Harris, Josh Brock, and David Cheney were indicted on racketeering, fraud, and embezzlement. This came after last year's release of an audit. This revealed a pyramid scheme where they would incentivize people with cash to double enroll students. The more students they had, the more the state paid them. By ensuring the school and management company had board members consisting of family and friends, and placing Brock as the chief financial officer, it allowed them to funnel millions with zero oversight. In 2019, Harris, Cheney, and Brock knew the audit could put their scheme in jeopardy, so they created a shell company called EdTech to hide their payments. Epic would pay EdTech, and EdTech would pay them. Using the money stolen from taxpayers, they would look to kill two birds with one stone. The first bird would be to mold the legislature, and the second to get rid of the person who exposed it all, State Auditor Cindy Byrd. With tax dollars, they made a max donation to State Senator Paul Racino, who 2 days later would co-author a bill that would cut funding to the auditor's office. The State Chamber of Commerce got a total of $55,000 in payments from tax dollars after filing a friend of the court, defending Epic in a suit. Oklahoma Council of Public Affairs, also known as OCPA, got $100,000 and quickly became a vocal opponent of the audit. Moreover, EdTech paid tens of thousands to campaign advocacy management professionals, also known as CAMP, found Hollins Group, producing negative ads against former State Senator Ron Sharp, a vocal opponent of Epic. With one bird out of the way, they shifted their target to State Auditor Cindy Byrd. Cheney and Harris would pay $1.4 million from embezzled tax dollars to various PACs, including $750,000 to a Prosperity Alliance PAC. In an effort to disguise their efforts, Prosperity Alliance PAC would transfer $500,000 to American Values First PAC. While they are a DC PAC, they are registered out of Tulsa. Another PAC that would pay money into American Values First PAC would be Pioneer PAC, registered to Jeffrey Long, who just happens to be suing Cindy Byrd. Jeffrey is listed as Founding Truth PAC, which just happens to be registered to the same address as CAMP. Altogether, through the various PACs, it adds up to over $1 million in attack ads. All of that to say that when prominent Republicans were approached to run against Cindy Byrd and refused, Epic founders poured money into a straw candidate, even having one of their friends who held an Epic board position donate the filing fee on the day of filing to Steve McQuillan. One could argue that McQuillan is a serious candidate, but given that out of the 5 total donations he's received, the filing fee being the largest, it should be questioned. Will the truth win the day? This isn't about Epic Charter School. These men have ceased being associated with the school long ago. I'm a mom of 3 children currently enrolled in Epic, and I not only believe in school choice, but my children's education is a product of that.
In Hillary Clinton's America, the system stays rigged against Americans. Syrian refugees flood in. Illegal immigrants convicted of committing crimes get to stay, collecting Social Security benefits, skipping the line. Our border open, it's more of the same, but worse. Donald Trump's America is secure. Terrorists and dangerous criminals kept out. The border secured. Our families safe. Change that makes America safe again. Donald Trump for president.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
A tremendously important group of people to me. America's veterans. These are special people.
Jarrin Jackson served our nation in 2 combat tours in Afghanistan and is leadership trained by West Point and the U.S. Army Ranger School. Jarrin will secure our border, expand Oklahoma oil and gas, and will protect our children. We need a border security fighter in office now who will put America and Oklahoma first.
Hey, good evening. My name is Jarrin Jackson, and I do love America. I am the America First combat veteran Republican Patriot candidate here for the runoff in Oklahoma State Senate District Number 2. The runoff election is August 23rd. Happy Sunday. Hope you all had a good time at church today. It's a great time. Things are picking up, and I have a great, interesting live stream for you today. We're going to discuss some corruption, and we're going to discuss what's at stake at this America First election. Basically, it's this. Do you want someone who takes no lobbyists, no PAC money, no swamp money, who has seemingly touched the heart of this corruption cabal in Oklahoma and elsewhere? Or do you want somebody that's bought in on it? Somebody who's part of it? Military combat veteran, owns his own business, father of small children. We homeschool our kids, and I am not paid off. We're going straight at them, folks. This corrupt cabal won't stand. We're going to secure our borders. We're going to defend the Constitution. We're going to protect your guns. We're going to stop the perversion of children. We're going to make sure that parents have the control and the choice in education while making sure teachers get paid better, because there's a lot of money in the administration and not in the teachers' pockets. We'll address that as well. We're going to bring an approach of state sovereignty, asserting the 9th and 10th Amendments. That's what's at stake here. You have a calcified, corrupt system of politicians, of media, of all sorts of career bureaucrats dug in deeper than an Alabama tick, and they ain't moving. And here comes this lonely old combat veteran just out in the middle of nowhere, Rogers County, Oklahoma, and he points out the corruption. We name names. We point out how the money is moving from your taxpayer pocket through the government to corrupt institutions, getting filtered right back to you, propagandizing you for you to vote for the puppet. Don't do it. Vote America First. Vote on Tuesday. You have the opportunity to vote for an America First combat veteran on the ballot on Tuesday. Get the word out. If you are in district, you need to tell other people. Share them this video right here. Tell them who I am. This is my phone and this is my number, 918-845-9555. We have a last-second fundraising deadline. It seems like George Soros has deployed his national media against us, trying to put on the pressure. Trying to say, don't talk about stuff. Well, guess what? They ain't shooting. So we're going to keep going. This George Soros anti-America fake news cabal is starting to propagate things because I am an outspoken Christian. I believe in the gospel of Jesus Christ, his death, his burial, his resurrection as the only way to salvation. You must believe in the shed blood of Christ. I believe the Bible is true. And I've made no bones about that. I don't shy away from that. And because I'm an America First candidate, because I want to secure the border, I want to turn off the magnets that make these people rich. I want accountability of your taxpayer dollars. That's their bread plate. Your taxpayer money is how these parasites are able to continue to grow. They're plump. They need plucked. They need popped. They need to be removed from their positions of power, and you have the opportunity to do that. That's what's on the line. And this is a much bigger thing than just Rogers County, little old pockets of northeast Oklahoma. This is now a national race. This is now a national race with national implications, because the way that they're coming at you, the way that they're coming at me, means that they don't want what we're doing here. They don't want someone who serves their country, who loves Jesus, who wants to defend the Constitution, who isn't bought off. That's the key. That's the key. The key to all of this is that they don't have their money in my pocket. They have not given me a dime. They haven't bought me off. They didn't even call me to even try to bribe me, because there's something about me, there's something about you that makes us not able to be bought off, because we just want our freedom. We just want to live our lives. We want to be left alone. So I want to jump into that real fast. I want to say some of this real fast. Watch this. I think it's a 10-second clip. Watch this real fast.
Moreover, EdTech paid tens of thousands to campaign advocacy management professionals, also known as CAMP, found Holland's Group.
Say that again. Oh, shoot, it's not going to do it. Watch this. Say that again.
Moreover, EdTech paid tens of thousands to campaign advocacy management professionals, also known as CAMP, found
CAMP, C-A-M-P. It's a business that has received washed. I don't know. Has it received washed taxpayer dollars? I don't know. You know how you can tell that business that may have received washed taxpayer dollars? You just look at mail pieces, just mail pieces. You go up here to these mail pieces, and you go right here, Where are we at? Right there, camp. Right there, camp. Paid for by camp. I'm bad with this, folks. Camp. Right there, camp. Camp. That's camp. That business right there, may or may not have received washed taxpayer dollars. Go ahead and roll that beautiful bean footage.
Moreover, EdTech paid tens of thousands to campaign advocacy management professionals, also known as CAMP, found Holland's Group.
So, from a charge affidavit from the Oklahoma County DA, the 3 people that are being charged with embezzlement, racketeering, and fraud of taxpayer dollars wrote big checks, tens of thousands of dollars, to a very specific entity. And that very specific entity is sending out mail in this race. Very specific mail in this race. Is that your tax dollars at work? How do we know? I don't know. Is CAMP associated with George Soros? George Soros pays off over 30 major news organizations. Why is this important? Why does and how does little old District 2 out here in rural Oklahoma become the fixation of national headlines? It's because we're telling the truth. Because we are telling people that they're taking your money, they're corrupt, they're controlling you with it, and they're spewing right back out to you people that they think that you will find palatable. And if you dare point that out, boy, don't they come after you. These people don't care if you're a Bible-believing Christian. They don't care if you're a combat veteran. They don't care if you just want to be left alone, if you just want the Constitution defended. They really don't want borders secured, folks. They want the illegal immigration. This same people, the state chamber also took money from Epic charter schools. And Epic charter schools, funded 100% by taxpayer dollars, by the way, they want open borders. They want woke schools. They want perverted children. These people want your children to be perverts. That's what's on the ballot here. And meanwhile, I don't want to touch your guns. I want to nullify the ATF, the DEA, the FBI, the DOJ, the NSA, the CIA, any other of these federal agencies that are unconstitutional, extra-constitutional. They're not in Article 1. They're not in Article 1, Section 8. Congress doesn't have the federal authority to do what they've done, to oppress us as they have. You need an America First fighter to assert state sovereignty, to push back against the federal government, to push back against the Democrats, to push back against Joe Biden, to push back against the lawlessness. Folks, if you want your country, if you want freedom, if you want someone who's not going to be bought off, who's going to tell the truth and going to take the fight directly to these people, my name is Jarrin Jackson, and I'm on the ballot for August 23rd. That is Tuesday, right around the corner. The issues going on. Let me just show you this. This is our Get Out the Vote mailer. And we have people calling in. That's fine. We're not to calls yet. 918-845-9555. This is the, I'll say when we're getting there. This is our Get Out the Vote mailer. So I met President Trump at Mar-a-Lago on May 3rd, 2020. I met him, shook his hand. I said, "Thank you, Mr. President, for never conceding." I think you know why. This is an America First combat veteran, 2-tour veteran. You know this right here? Somebody asked about this boot. This boot wore this hole in here. This is one of the boots I wore in Afghanistan. You can see how the thing came undone, and I had to tie a little knot. That's right there. That boot, been all over the mountains of Afghanistan. Probably got some Afghan poop on it. We're going to, like this says, we're going to expand oil and gas. These are issues, folks. You vote for who's going to do something for you. You don't vote for who's bought off. You vote for who's going to protect your liberty, who's going to advance freedom. My mission, my agenda, what I offer in service to you, which I've already done overseas, expanding Oklahoma oil and gas, securing the border, deporting illegals, stopping the grooming of children in school. We're going to stand up to big tech. I want you guys to be able to sue these people into oblivion. They're monopolies. They're defending information. They're gatekeeping our discourse. They are enemies of the United States because they have a monopoly on free speech. If we do not defend free speech, then we don't know who people are. Jesus said in Matthew 12:34, "From the wellspring of the heart the mouth speaks." If you do not know what people believe because they're censored, you don't know who they actually are. We're going to secure our elections. We're going to ban China from owning Oklahoma land in this state right here. We were the campaign that advanced the idea that China owns 5% of our state. We were the campaign that put that on the spotlight. We were the campaign that said we're going to seize it, sell it to an American, and then give you the proceeds. I want you to have your globalist refund. You deserve it because they're selling our country. These politicians, I don't know if they're on their take or not. I don't know if George Soros is paid off camp. I don't know if George Soros has paid off all these people. Why do all these blue check marks with millions of followers care about a know-nothing state Senate race in the middle of Oklahoma? Why is Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker himself, tweeting about this race? It's because we've hit the heart of their whole apparatus. They don't want someone who believes the Bible, who preaches the gospel of Jesus Christ. They don't want a combat veteran who can articulate a constitutional method. They don't want someone who's going to assert America first. They're going to try all their legal lawfare tactics. They're going to try their smear tactics. They're going to try to discredit, to dissuade, to distract, to diffuse. Don't look past it. Go straight at it. These people are corrupt. This cabal must go down. We need to support President Trump, give him fighters at every level, the local level, the state level, the federal level. These evil people, these evil, corrupt people, use people who have no idea what they're doing as pawns. They assert them like the Afghans I saw overseas, using people as human shields. It's the same concept. You have the power brokers behind the veil, just like the Wizard of Oz, behind the veil with the whole apparatus, this illusion, this deception, this evil, corrupt magic, trying to dissuade and distract people from pursuing the truth. And all this is, we're going to go secure the borders. We're going to deport illegals. I don't want people competing with Oklahomans for their jobs. I want better wages. I don't want people to be compelled to violate their medical conscience. I don't think anybody should know what your personal private data is, whether that's on the internet, whether that's you have $600 in your bank account. Remember when Joe Biden wanted to know if you had over $600 in your banking account? I don't think they need to know that, so I want to push back against that. I don't want them to know what your medical privacy is. I want parents to be able to choose where their kids go to school. I want teachers to be paid better. You need someone that's actually ran a business to bring forward pay incentives to change that structure and not just kick the can down the road by using them as hostage while you're forcing them to teach CRT. Teachers, I know you don't want to teach this garbage. I know that you don't want to infect small children and young minds with this anti-American sentiment. I know this. You know this. Everybody knows that the teachers in public schools don't want to actually teach what they're teaching. They're being forced to. And it's because this entire apparatus, with their hands in the taxpayer cookie jar, routes it through corrupt systems. There's no accountability. And if you dare point it out, boy, don't they smash you. Don't they come right at you? But guess what? The good news about this, we're winning. We are on the march. We have the momentum. They want us to flinch. They want us to break. They want us to miss a step. They want us to doubt. They want us to second guess. They must think that we're not Americans. They must think that we don't love Jesus. They must think that we're like them, cowards, bullies, people who, if they're pandered to, would give way. We have our principles. We've got the truth. We're doing this for our family. We're doing this for our future. We're doing this for our country. You vote Jarrin Jackson on August 23rd. That's what's on the ballot. It's an America First combat veteran against the system. I'm just a random guy out in the middle of Rogers County, Oklahoma. Why the whirlwind? Why the storm? Why the buzz? Why all the things going on? It's because someone dares to be outspoken about faith in Jesus Christ. It's because someone dares to go directly against the system that has the gumption to stand up against people who are all bought off. Soros has got his pockets. He's got his hand in all these media companies. They all say the same thing. They all regurgitate the same smear. And this is because they're unimaginative. Satan isn't innovating in his smear tactics. He's just replicating the process that's worked for time immemorial. He did it to Job. He did it to Christ. He did it to the apostles. This is what he does. But you need a state senator to stand firm. You need someone who can articulate the America First message, who has the spine, who has the backbone to say, I understand all the smears. I understand all the things. We're going to push this agenda because I'm here to serve you. I'm here to defend the Constitution. I'm here to make sure that you have your future. Your family is yours and untouched, not violated, not with high inflation, not with high gas prices. Why are we taxing food in the grocery stores? Why are we doing these things? It's because the people that are supposed to represent you don't. They don't. fact, it reminds me of this. This is a clip I like to play in these circumstances. This explains why things are bad, but they don't change.
They know. They just don't care.
They know. They just don't care. The politicians, many of which are bought off, these Democrats, they're in Washington, they're pushing the federal agencies to take our sovereignty, to convince us that America is not worth fighting for, to paint a picture of something that's just not true. And if you just but stand up and speak the truth, look at what happens. The good news is, not only salvation from sin by the gospel of Jesus Christ, but the good news is the fact that they can't fight the truth. They'll writhe and they'll claw, they'll scratch and they'll screech, they'll scream, they'll curse you, they'll say all sorts of stuff. Doesn't matter. They can't affect the truth. And that's what's good. 918-845-9555, 918-845-9555. I've got a couple text messages. Oh, while I'm waiting, 918-845-9555. We've got this is what I saw on the way to church today. This is how I know we're winning. This is what I saw on the way to church today. That's that intersection just west of town. That's a guy with a Jarrin Jackson sign in the back of his truck going through the intersection. Like, I didn't expect that. I mean, obviously you could see I'm in the left-hand turn lane, and as I'm coming to turn left to go to church, I guess presumably he's going to church. That's the type of stuff that's popping up. We've had more sign requests from this phone than I can remember. In fact, most of the time that I'm off this stream, we're trying to answer phone calls, or not answer phone calls, we're trying to make sign requests. That's what we did until the wee hours of the morning last night. Again, we've got this election on August 23rd. It's America First is on the ballot. We've got a call right here. Let's go ahead and answer this. This is Jarrin.
This is Charlotte.
Hey.
And I have a... Hello.
Hey.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing well.
Good. I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Where I live, we see a lot of the Chinese are buying up our land.
Mm-hmm.
And I also watch a lot of the news on TV and everything and see all the corruption that's going on in this world. And I just want to know what I can do.
What you can do? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks. Okay. Thank you. Well, first of all, pray. We need to pray. Absolutely. Second, vote. Make sure if you've got America First candidates on the ballot, vote. There are, I'm going to take liberties here. There are foreign businesses, foreign state nationals, people who aren't Americans are buying massive amounts of Oklahoma soil. I mean, already, like I've said, maybe I can find it. Let me. I'm on the fly, folks. I'm on the fly. Let's say, what is it? Daily Mail article. Daily Mail. China owns American soil. That's what I'm going to type in. That's what I've got. There we go. July 27, 2022. Let me clip this. Sorry, this is on the fly. I didn't plan on doing this. Where you at? There we go. Let's call this China. This is what you have to do to get graphics on the thing. This is the Daily Mail article that I just found. This is 15 key U.S. states where Chinese citizens are buying $6 billion of property after being banned by other countries. Ron DeSantis calls it a huge problem. This is the graphic. This is the graphic. Hold on. Give me 30 seconds or another 20, whatnot. Let's do this. I got to save it real fast. Hold on, folks. Okay, map is what we'll call it. And then this is the map that I'm talking about. This is 5%. 5% of the state of Oklahoma. U.S. states Chinese investors are buying property. 5%. 5% of Oklahoma. 31% of California. I mean, these are states. These are American states. They have massive amount of land owned by Chinese. Why is this happening? It's because, and Well, one, it's because we're allowing it to. Politicians are allowing it to. I don't know if they're on the take or not. Remember, you have money involved in this race. You have outside dark swamp money directly connected to taxpayer monies being washed through and routed through entities used outside of the scope for why you pay taxes into it. That's coming into this race to the tune of almost $300,000. And you know that if you look at these mailers again, you know that by going up to this right there. Camp. Right there. Camp. If that says camp, that entity took money washed through Epic charter schools to attack conservatives. How do we know that? Well, we know that because of this.
Moreover, EdTech paid tens of thousands to campaign advocacy management professionals, also known as CAMP, found Holland's Group.
That's the charge affidavit. That's the charge affidavit where people are being indicted for racketeering, embezzlement, and fraud. I just want to hear that again.
Moreover, EdTech paid tens of thousands to campaign advocacy management professionals, also known as CAMP, found Holland's Group.
That's right. Your tax dollars got washed through entities, went to a specific business. I don't know if that business is tied to Soros or not. I don't know. Could they be tied to George Soros? If George Soros is reportedly tied to and connected to 30 news organizations, could it follow that George Soros or some other billionaire would have direct connections to all these other news outlets? Could that be why little old state Senate District number 2 race is blowing up and going national? That it can't be the case. It's because we're pointing out the corruption. You just but dare point out who these people are. You mess with the entire system. That's why it's called a cabal. The cabal circles the wagons, and when someone, predominantly someone who loves Jesus Christ, is an outspoken advocate for the gospel because he doesn't want people to go to hell, because that's my faith and that's what the Bible teaches, that's area number 1. 2, if you're going to point these people out by name. 3, if you want to defend the Constitution. 4, if you want to advance an America First perspective against the corruption of the day, then that's something that's that's something they're going to push back against. That's absolutely something they're going to be pushing back against because that's what they don't want. Okay, so as we do this, because I want, there's part of this, we'll do this last part. There's part of this. Hold on.
How do you steal a seat for statewide office? With bags of taxpayer dollars.
Hold on. I got to fast forward this because she talks about something. She gets into more detail here. Listen to this. Now remember, camp. Watch this.
The Alliance PAC would transfer $500,000 to American Values First PAC. While they are a DC PAC, they are registered out of Tulsa. Another PAC that would pay money into American Values First PAC would be Pioneer PAC, registered to Jeffrey Long, who just happens to be suing Cindy Byrd. Jeffrey is listed as Founding Truth PAC, which just happens to be registered to the same address as CAMP. Altogether, through the various PACs, it adds up to over $1 million in attack ads.
Whoa. Say that again. How much money did it add up to? Hold on. Say that again.
Which just happens to be registered at the same address as CAMP. Altogether, through the various PACs, it adds up to over $1 million in attack ads. All of that to say that
a million in attack ads going through. Look at the mailer. If you see a mailer and it has this, camp. If you see a mailer and it says this, right? If you see a mailer and it says camp, that's camp. That's that group. That's the group doing that thing. Are they tied to George Soros? Is that why this has reached such a national level fever pitch? Is that why Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker is tweeting about this race? Is that why there's so much pressure coming into this? Did someone who's a nobody, just like you, decide to say, you know what, I don't want the corruption anymore. I'm going to stand for America first. I want to secure the borders. I don't want the feds or anybody else to touch our guns or our Second Amendment. I want to assert state sovereignty. I want to make sure that we have energy independence. I want to make sure that we stop the perversion of children in our schools. I mean, that's all we're doing. That's all we're doing, folks. And the name is on the ballot, Jarrin Jackson, on August 23rd. My phone is right here. I'm getting somebody calling. No, they just dropped. The number is right here. Sorry, like as I'm talking, people call and then they go away. So this is 918-845-9555. And then I've got jacksonoklahoma.com/donate. If you have the opportunity to chip in 5, 10, 15, 20 bucks into this as we finish strong. Every single time we've met our fundraising objectives, the swamp just pours in more money. I mean, they're throwing everything. They're throwing the entire kitchen sink at us. And it's because they don't want what we've got. Okay, I've got a friend. No, I don't know who that is. All right, here we go. All right. Oh, drop the call. This is, okay. Sorry. I'm on my, what's this called? Okay, I've got other Republicans. Okay, hold on. I've got... are there other Republicans that share your values and sentiment in Oklahoma? I don't know. I'm hoping. I'm hoping. Okay, let's try this one. We've been dropping calls. Let's try this one. Hey, I'm Jarrin. What's on your mind?
How do we get the federal government to back off and stop trying to destroy the oil industry? It's very important to our state.
Well, say that again. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Okay, how do we get the federal government to back off and get them to stop trying to destroy the oil industry?
Okay.
Because it's very important to our state.
Okay. Yeah, amen. So as I understand it, and I'm not in the oil industry, as I understand it, our ground is ours. Oklahoma is a state, or Oklahoma is a sovereign state. The liquid gold underneath our feet is ours. We need to drill it out, pump it out, and it should be up to us. We need to nullify. The main answer is to nullify. And one of the ways that we do that is to run competing legislation at the state level that says if it's not in Article 1, Section 8, if the EPA or the DEA or the Department of Energy, if any of these agencies that are having regulatory oversight over our drilling, over our fracking, over our extraction, over the types of stuff we have to backfill, the sand with, any of these agencies that have that type of regulatory overreach, we need to nullify that. There's also this component whenever they cap the limit, they say that you can't drill more than X. We just need to say, no, we're just going to keep going because we want to, because we can. Oklahoma, we're not even talking about the Permian Basin. We're talking about the, I forget what the acronym is. It's out there by, it's Southwest Oklahoma. Just Southwest Oklahoma's oil patch could not feed the entire country, but could provide the energy for the entire country. Also, new leases on land. The path to get an oil lease, to get to the material, get to the resources underneath the dirt, is a long process. You got to ask for permission to do a bunch of stuff. I don't think it should be like that. I think we need to deregulate. I think we need to nullify, and I think we need to drill, baby, drill. And we don't have to ask for permission. We don't have to beg like Oliver Twist. We just do it. And ultimately, folks, that's the issue. This is America first. We're just going to live our lives. And you're going to vote for Jarrin Jackson on August 23rd so that you get somebody who understands this stuff, who's got the resolve and the experience to fight, not only as a combat veteran overseas leading soldiers in combat, but also as a businessman, as a father, as a husband, as someone who understands the liberty that's at stake, but is also able to articulate this perspective, because there's a lot of people that just don't talk like this. There's a lot of people that say the tuned politician words. They don't think up outside of the box. They're unimaginative, and they always just want to stay wherever the polls tell them to. Whatever's approved, whatever's allowed. They never want to rock the boat. And I can't help but get back to the corruption. I can't help but get back to the people who are taking our money. They're taking your money, they're routing it through their systems, they're pocketing it, and whenever you dare say anything about them, they attack you. Whether it's the Soros fake news media as a coordinated hit job to include Luke Skywalker, and now you've got all sorts of hundreds of thousands of dollars, including folks, flyers that come with this on it. Camp. Anything that's got that right there. That has that entity allegedly has received funds, and not allegedly, actually has. You can see the checks being cashed. Tens of thousands of. Oh, go ahead. Say the thing again. Oh shoot, she's not going to say it again. Say the thing.
Moreover, EdTech paid tens of thousands to campaign advocacy management professionals, also known as CAMP, found Holland's group.
Yeah. So, in wrapping up, my name is Jarrin Jackson. I'm a combat veteran. I'm a Bible-believing Christian. I am an outspoken person for Jesus Christ. That's because I have been saved from much. My time overseas in Afghanistan, I saw a lot of bad things. There was a lot of things that happened overseas, and so I speak very bluntly about my faith because I don't think that we need to put up barriers to the gospel. I think we need to advance the gospel. That's my faith. I believe the Bible. It's because of that I see the corruption going on, and I know the solution is to defend the Constitution. I know the solution is to advance America First principles. I know it's to get back to the basics. Primarily, in my view, don't mess with my kids, don't touch my guns. But we need to go more than that. We need people who aren't supposed to be here to not be here. Someone was telling me that there's illegal immigrants that come in, they smuggle themselves underneath semi-trailers. They actually crawl up underneath there and hang on as the big freight trucks come through the border. And then whenever they get here, working one day in America gets them the money for 6 days in Mexico. So 1 day's wage in America is 6 days' wage in Mexico. So they'll stay here for a month, and you get that many days in Mexico, they go back and live like kings. And what they do is they send their money back. That's called remittance. We saw that all the time in Afghanistan. All the time, money would come into Afghanistan from Afghans working in the UAE. They'd work in Dubai, they'd work in Qatar, they'd work in the Gulf as taxi drivers or construction people or whatever, and then send their money back. I want to tax remittance. If you are an illegal, this is one of the ways that you fight, by the way. So if people wanted to know what would you do as a state senator, I would tax the crap out of remittance. If you're an illegal immigrant and you're sending thousands or hundreds of dollars home to Mexico, I'm going to take that money because you made it here illegally. You're not supposed to be here. You need to go home. And if you don't want to go home, we need to send you home. I'm on record as a guy that doesn't want to bus people into the country. I want to bus them out of the country. We love them as far as image bearers of God. They need to know the gospel, but they can know the gospel out of my country. We need to drill. We need to go after big tech censorship, protect the guns, stop the perversion of our kids. All this stuff is on the ballot. Folks, I don't take PAC money. I don't take swamp money. The Soros fake news media hates my guts because I preach the gospel of Jesus Christ and I'm coming straight after them. I name names. I'm not backing down. We're punching back. If you want someone to take the hits, if you want someone to stand in the gap, if you want someone to push the ball down the field, I'm your man. That's what I'm going to do. I'm doing it already. We did it in Afghanistan as a soldier, West Point grad, combat veteran, led soldiers overseas. We're going to do it at the state senate. If you want accountability of your government, if you want your Constitution defended, if you want your liberty to be preserved for your children so that they don't have to grow up in a country that thinks that they can wear dresses if they're not supposed to wear dresses, now's your chance to fight back. Tell other people to vote. Get them to vote right now. Go to your phones. Get them to start telling their friends. Get them to the polls. Get the energy going. Get them out to the polls on August 23rd. I appreciate your time. God bless you. Have a good weekend. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, 7 p.m. Central.